In a picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and fertile fields, there lived a hardworking farmer named Elias. Elias was well known in his village for his dedication to his land and crops. He inherited the farm from his father, who had passed down not just the land, but also the knowledge and love for farming. His farm was his pride, and he devoted every waking hour to ensuring that his fields yielded the best harvest each year. Elias's farm was a marvel to behold, with rows of golden wheat swaying in the breeze, vibrant vegetables sprouting from the earth, and fruit trees heavy with ripe produce. However, like any farmer, Elias faced challenges. Among them was the constant threat of birds that would descend upon his fields, eager to feast on the fruits of his labor. Over time, the birds grew bolder, and their numbers increased, causing Elias to lose a significant portion of his crops each season. Determined to protect his livelihood, Elias decided to take action. He knew that simply scaring the birds away was not enough; they would always return. So, he devised a plan. Elias carefully constructed a series of traps and set them around his fields. These traps were designed to catch the birds without harming them, allowing Elias to release them far away from his farm. One day, as Elias was inspecting his traps, he found a variety of birds ensnared in them. Among the usual culprits, sparrows, crows, and pigeons, was a beautiful stork. The stork was a majestic creature with long, elegant legs, a slender neck, and pristine white feathers that shimmered in the sunlight. Unlike the other birds, the stork was known to be gentle and graceful, often seen wading through the village's ponds in search of fish. The stork, seeing Elias approach, began to plead for its life. "Please, kind farmer," the stork said in a soft voice, "I am not like these other birds. I do not eat your crops. I am an innocent creature who was merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. I beg you to set me free." Elias paused and looked at the stork. He could see the fear in its eyes and the sincerity in its plea. The stork's words resonated with him, and for a moment he considered releasing the bird. However, Elias was a cautious man who believed in fairness and the consequences of one's actions. "You may not have intended to harm my crops," Elias replied, "but you are caught in the company of those who do. I cannot make exceptions, for if I release you, how will I justify keeping the others? You see, your presence among the other birds implies that you are, in some way, involved in their wrongdoing." The stork, realizing the gravity of the situation, tried to explain further. "Farmer Elias," the stork pleaded, "I am a creature of habit and grace. My home is the wetlands, where I feed on fish and small creatures. Today, I was simply flying over your fields when I grew tired and decided to rest. It was then that I was caught in your trap. I have never harmed you or your crops, and I never intended to." Elias listened to the stork's words, but his resolve remained firm. "It is not just your actions that concern me," Elias explained, "but the choices you have made. By associating with these birds, you have put yourself at risk. It is often said that one is judged by the company they keep, and in this case, you have chosen to be among those who harm my livelihood. Whether by intent or accident, you are now a part of their actions." The stork, understanding that Elias's decision was final, bowed its head in resignation. Elias, true to his word, did not harm the stork or any of the other birds. Instead, he released them far from his farm, hoping that they would learn a lesson from their capture. As the days passed, the stork reflected on the encounter with Elias. The stork realized that while it had not intended to harm anyone, its choice to rest among the other birds had led to unforeseen consequences. The experience taught the stork a valuable lesson about the importance of choosing its companions wisely and the impact of even unintentional actions. Over time, word spread among the birds, and fewer dared to venture into Elias's fields. The stork, in particular, became a symbol of caution in the bird community, sharing its story with others and warning them of the dangers of careless choices. Years passed, and Elias's farm prospered like never before. The villagers often came to him for advice, not just about farming but about life in general. Elias would tell them the story of the stork and the birds, emphasizing the importance of being mindful of one's actions and the company one keeps. One day, a young farmer named Leo, new to the village, approached Elias. Leo was eager to learn the secrets of successful farming and sought Elias's wisdom. Elias welcomed Leo to his home and shared his knowledge generously. As they walked through the fields, Elias told Leo the story of the stork and the moral it held. Leo, Elias said, farming is not just about working the land. It is about understanding the world around you, making wise choices, and knowing that every action has a consequence. The stork did not intend to harm me, but it found itself in a situation where it was judged by the company it kept. As you embark on your journey as a farmer, remember that your choices will define you, and the people and actions you associate with will shape your path. Leo listened intently and took Elias's words to heart. He understood that success in farming, as in life, required more than just hard work. It required wisdom, integrity, and a deep understanding of the consequences of one's actions. As Leo began his own farming journey, he often reflected on the story of the stork. He was careful in his dealings, both in business and in his personal life, always considering the potential outcomes of his actions. Leo's farm flourished, and he became known in the village for his fairness, kindness, and wisdom. Whenever asked about his success, Leo would smile and recount the story of Elias and the stork, passing on the valuable lesson he had learned. The story of the stork and the farmer became a cherished tale in the village, told from one generation to the next. It served as a reminder to all who heard it that life is a series of choices, and those choices, whether big or small, have the power to shape our destiny. The stork's experience highlighted the importance of being mindful of our actions and the company we keep, for they can lead us to places we never intended to go. And so, the legacy of the farmer and the stork lived on, a timeless story of wisdom, choices, and the enduring consequences of the paths we choose in life.